Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today I'll show you the market makes that I made over the last 2 weeks. So weeks 3 and 4 lead up to my markets on the 12th and 13th of April 2025. It's getting close, guys. I'm getting a little bit excited, to tell you the truth. So much has happened since I last saw you in the back end, and I will bring a special video just for that, to bring you up to speed with everything that's been going on. Gearing up to market day, or days I should say. But in the meantime, of course, I've had to create some inventory. So not the week gone by. So today is the 30th of March 2025. So it is Sunday afternoon here in Sydney, Australia. I'm going to show you what I crocheted the previous week and also this week. I do have a couple of things that I might be able to finish tonight, because from tomorrow being Monday, I will start on the next week's lot of makes, because I am trying to dedicate a week to, a set amount of makes. Otherwise, I don't think I'll have enough of variety. So let me get started with what I made last week. Of course, I was going to make my wooden towel ring holders, and the tutorial that I use is by Days Crochet. It is a beautiful tutorial. I base my pattern on that, but I have tweaked it a little bit just to suit myself a little bit. I basically do half double crochets all the way up, but I follow her stitch count and the amount of rows and things like that. So if you're not familiar with that YouTube tutorial and you'd like to make some, please go and have a look. It is a very, very good tutorial in itself, or you might want to change it around a bit like I have. So I actually use this yarn for mine this time round, and I will show you, of course, the wooden rings, the towel holders. So this is a very, very nice thick cotton. It does say, I think, recommends use a 6mm hook, which I actually did. It's called Erickson Eco Cotton Extra Large. They do make a thinner cotton as well, but I found that I didn't have to double this up, which was awesome. And I also use 70mm wooden rings. So if you're interested in making them the same size as I do, I think it's a very nice size when you see them made up, because the towel actually fits very, very nicely. I've used them from the very beginning for the last couple of years, and all the ones that I've gifted or sold, everyone's really liked them. And I use these wooden beads here. So the largest one in here. So I think it's about, I wish I had a tape measure here with me. I would say that it must be at least 10mm in diameter. So that might be a good gauge. Also, if you want to use, you can use buttons. Of course, you have that option. But I like the wooden ring with the wooden button, like the bead. I think it looks very nice together. So these are the colors that I made. I made 8 of this beautiful, it's like an olive color. I made 8 of the steel blue. Yes, I do have some one end. They have one end to sew in, and I have to sew them in. I made this beautiful, like it's a steely blue color. I made some of the cream, or the tan, and a couple in the purple that I showed you before, the lilac. So in total, as I said, I made 2 of these. So I think I have 20. 2 of these, 2 of these, so there's 4 there. And I made, where are we? 2, 4, 6, 8 of this one here, and 8 of the steel blue as well. Let me just get those, and I'll show you one up nice and close. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 8 there as well. So you start off down here, guys, in case you're wondering. You make the loop and then you crochet all the way up, attach your button. I love adding beads to things. I said button, but I meant a bead. And then final row, you attach it with single crochets to your wooden bead. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can loop these. You can either do it like this. So I know some people have asked me in the past. So you can do it, just fold it over like that. And that's where it sits, where your handle is for your oven. Or you can actually do it where you loop it under and then through that way as well. So if you have a thinner handle or a thicker one, you can adjust it, to the way that you like to use it. And of course, on presentation day for the markets, I will show you this as well. I have more than this, but I have quite a few tea towels. So I'm going to team them up with the color that matches most with the tea towel. So for example, I think this one would look very nice together. So I will be selling them as a set. I know some people like to sell them separately, and of course if people want to order some, I will absolutely accommodate, but for now I thought I'd like to package them up together. So I made those last week, and I also made some bookmarks. Now there are so many tutorials on YouTube to crochet beautiful bookmarks. I just got lost. I was looking and looking for ages, and then I landed on this one. So this one here, I'll show you this one. I made 12. There it is here, guys. So it's a little flower, and down the bottom, so that goes in between where the book is, and then it has a little leaf down the bottom. Now this YouTube tutorial is by Stella Crafts, Stelar, and I did use my beautiful birch, which is now discontinued, 60% cotton and 40% acrylic yarn. Absolutely beautiful with a 5mm hook. I do have some other colors here to show you, but I don't have all 12 because the organizers of the markets wanted to have a look at some of them for photos and things. So I put these colors together, which I think look very pretty. This one. And I did opt to just continue in this color and not put green, basically for time. And it still, I think, looks very, very nice. I made one in the beautiful olive color. So imagine if these had this dangling off them. That's what the difference would have been. Not necessary, I don't think. And I'm not sure if I showed you this one. I wonder if you guys can hear the rain pelting down on the roof. And this beautiful one here. And I have made a couple of, I think, blue ones as well, with you know, like a different color center, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But in total I did make 12, which I think is a nice start. Of course, you know, I could have made a variety of them. I would have loved to, but time permitting, I thought 12 was still very good. So last week I managed to get the tail toppers done and the bookmarks. Now this week I was focused on more, as you can see here, something for the children, because I thought, you know, it's very important that, you know, they're, you know, accommodated for as well. After all, you know, children are amazing shoppers, I think, and usually they draw the parents in. So let's start off with the Lovies. So I managed to make, now this one here, here's a little duck, little chick. So my Lovies, I use the pattern by Zelda NRJ3, so Z's tutorial, and I do use an elastic for them as well. So just a hair tie. I haven't brought one here with me, but you just crochet around it, and that's how I've made all of my Lovies in the past, and I know a lot of you do as well. Now this is so super, super soft, guys. I absolutely love it, and how cool is it that I can get the little hands sticking out? So for this one and another one that I'll show you, I used this beautiful Nippers yarn. Now what I did do, because I like to use my velvet yarns for my Lovies, so I used Millen's velvet yarn that I've got. So I'll just show you some of, like, one of the colors here. So this just comes in Millen's, and it is a beautiful soft velvet yarn. I also used the little Nippers like I showed you. I also used some of this Tiny Treasures and some of the Aries from, because this has got nice sparkle in it. And I only made one with a baby chenille. It turned out okay. I don't know if I'll use it again in the future, but it is very, very soft. So let me just pop the yarn down for now so I can show you the Lovies. Oh, and there's another color in the Tiny Treasures. That's all that is. So we've got one big one, because I've made a few little ones as well. And I've got this little one here. So this one is a little rabbit. So cute. And under they have, you know, their little bodies. So when you wash that, they still look very nice. Little hands are sticking out again. Now I usually use a 7mm hook with this is the velvet yarn, and I continue to do that with that one there. Now this one here, I have another little rabbit here. I've got yarn attached to it because I think I need to go down one more row. But I thought I'd just come on and show you. This one's got a really nice rainbow colored body, like fluffy body. So it really does match the Lovey very, very well. So that's that one there. They're going to fall off, guys. So, oh, let's just stop. Now, I did make some little ones as well. So I found these little tiny things in Kmart, these little tiny ones. They're adorable, right? And I just put a little poncho on them, only 5 rows, again using the variety of velvet yarns that I have. So I have 1, 2, how cute are they? Let me pop them down there. This is the one that I made with that baby chenille. As I said, it turned out very nice and soft, but I'm not quite sold on the look yet. We'll see how we go. And then there's another little one here. All their little arms are sticking out because their little chubby bodies, they were riding up. So I thought I won't pull the arms out of the lovey. I just have them on top. So that's that one there as well. And then I have another little blue one here. I think I showed you the little grey one. If not, that's okay, I'll show you again. And I do have one more little rabbit. If I have time to make it this evening, I will definitely be popping it in for the markets. Otherwise, it'll go some other time. Now, I also made some other little ones. They look like this. And I've got about 5 of those as well. So Thea gifted me these in vacuum pack. They're sealed in a vacuum pack, so they're flat packed. About a year and a half ago, and then when you take them out, they pop out and they look really, really nice. They're so cute, and I thought they were very much the same size as the ones that I showed you, the little rabbits. So I did make some of these as well. So they're a very cute size. Sorry, I was dropping that, and I've dropped everything. Okay, so there's these, and then I've got a Darth Vader. I'm sure some little boy or some little girl will love this one. And then we have some more. They're so cute, right? Look at this one with the sparkle. And I've got a Winnie the Pooh one. Now, I don't have any red velvet yarn, unfortunately, so I had to use blanket yarn. So it is a bit bulky, but once again, it's super, super soft. I absolutely love it. So they're all the lovies that I got done. I think there's about 10 of the little ones and 3 of the big ones. Specifically for Easter. They had the Easter feel, especially the little bunnies and these ones here. I do have other lovies that I'm going to take as well, but these are the ones that I made this week. And of course, I couldn't go past the water balloons. Now, those of you that don't know about crocheting water balloons, I have this in my crocheting with blanket yarn playlist. This was one of the makes, and they are so popular, guys. Very quick and simple make. I used the YouTube tutorial by Yarn and Country. I used blanket yarn for all of them, and I do use a 9mm hook with them. So I managed to get 21 made up, and I'm packaging them up in sets of 3. So eventually they're going to look like this. So there's the 3 colors there. So something like that. I'm playing around with that. So I've got the 1 set. I managed to make 7 sets. So there's these colors here. I try to kind of make them in sets of colors that would look nice together. There's these ones here, these ones, and these ones. So, you know, those of you that don't know, this is pretty much what all the blanket yarn looks like. It's a nice bulky number 5 or number 6 yarn, and you can use the larger hooks. Sometimes you go down to a 7 or an 8 if you're making amigurumi, but 9 is perfect for these. Those of you that don't know how to use these, basically you dunk them in water, like soak them in water, and then when they're filled, you actually use them like a water balloon, but they don't hurt anybody and they're reusable. And then when you're finished with them, you know, give them a little wash and hang them out to dry, and you use them again. So that was it, guys. Oh, and I made a little basket. I don't know if I'll manage to make any more, but at least I have one. So, you know, some little child, I'm going to put some Easter eggs in there, chocolate Easter eggs. Might want to take that home with them. I think it is very, very cute. And that's it, guys. They're all the makes that I got done, unless I manage, well, I'm going to have to finish this little one here, this one. I have the ends to sew in and just add 1 more row. And then maybe I'll get to finish 1 more little rabbit. At the very least, I'd like to do the rabbit as well, which I'm pretty sure I will. As you can imagine, crocheting up 5 rows is a very, very quick make. And I do adjust the pattern from Zelda NRJ3 if any of you are interested in using your velvet yarns. Zelda says to start off with 36 single crochet. I have 48. So I have to add an extra 1 in between to accommodate for the chunkier necks. If you're making the thinner necked lovies, if you're making the smaller ones, you can go down. So for example, with these, I go down to 24 because I use different hair elastics for all of them. These are for the big, you know, like when, you know, for a lot of hair or the curly hair. These are tiny for like little children, and I also have the ones in between that I use for my scrunchies, but we saw all of those last time. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for, you know, being amazing cheerleaders. I just love the love that I'm getting for this market. We're all in this together, basically. I'm so overwhelmed by all your good wishes, and I thank you, each and one of you. It spurs me on to continue, and I love all the ideas that you're giving me in the comments as well. So please keep them coming, you know, in relation to packaging, marketing, you know, adding extra things to my makes. I absolutely love it. So once again, as I always say, I absolutely love hanging out with you guys, and I really do appreciate the time that you take the time to hang out with me as well. And until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.